How do you get started in this field of sports psychology? So I've had several questions about, Dr. Cohn, how did you get started? In this video, I'm going to talk about where I came from and how I originally got started working with athletes. You're watching Sessions with Doc. So I originally started as an athlete. I played 4 or 5 sports all year round and then went to college, and certainly I played college lacrosse as well. And I was fascinated by the mental part of the game. But it all started when I was at the University of Buffalo in 1978. I started there in psychology as an undergrad, and then I went and got a dual degree in exercise science and physical therapy. At that time, this is in about 1982, they had a class called sports psychology. And I took that class and I really enjoyed the information and I really thrived in that class. My professor said, well, you know what? If you want to do more schooling, then I suggest you go work with Ken Ravizza at Cal State Fullerton. And that's exactly what I did. Is I went out to Cal State Fullerton, packed my bags, got a place, and enrolled at Cal State Fullerton with Ken Ravizza. Incredible experience working with Ken for about 2 years, 2.5 years. I followed Ken all over the place when he was working with the baseball teams, when he was doing seminars, golf seminars. He was working with a softball. And he afforded me the ability to work with some of the teams. At that time, I was working with the hockey team and the softball team, and I was also working with some of the golfers on the golf team, and really got involved in that aspect. So once I completed my degree at Cal State Fullerton, Ken said, well, hey, if you're really into working with golfers, I suggest you go study under Bob Rotella at the University of Virginia. And that's what I did. I enrolled in the late 80s at the University of Virginia with Bob Rotella and his program. And I learned everything I could about what Bob was doing with golfers at the time. Now, at the same time I was at the University of Virginia, I had hometown golfers that were high level, that were playing at the college level or playing at the mini tour level. And I started working with my friends. And that's really where I started the mental coaching outside of the school setting, is working with golfers who happened to be friends. One of the first golfers I worked with that was at a high level was E.J. Pfister, who grew up in my hometown of East Aurora, New York. And his dad happened to be a club pro there, and he introduced me to EJ and said, hey, I'd like you to go work with him at the New York State Open. And that year, EJ graduated. He was NCAA champion. He came out and then he won the New York State Open. I worked with him during that time. And I also helped him get on tour. And then eventually EJ introduced me to other golfers as well, such as Brian Watts, for example, who won 13 times on the Japan Tour and had a stint on the PGA Tour. He finished second at the British Open one year. So really how I got started was working with hometown golfers that I actually grew up with. And I started working with them and practicing my trade and the mental coaching on them. And they had some success with the mental coaching. So that's really where it all began for me, where I really got excited. I got some success in working with golfers, and thus I started to work with other golfers. So really, the story here is it takes one person that you work with. It doesn't have to be a paid client, but one person that you know in your inner circle that you work with. You help them succeed, you help them get to the next level, and then guess what? They're going to tell other athletes about you. And that's really how you get the ball rolling and get it started if you're brand new in this field of sports psychology. Hope that was helpful. For more information, check out the Mental Game Coaching Professional Certification site at mentalgamecoachingpro.com, where I certify life coaches, psychologists, sport coaches, and mental coaches in training. Thanks. If you want to be notified when we upload more mental training videos just like this one, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click on my picture in the upper right-hand corner of this video. We've teed up 2 more mental training videos for you to check out today. Please visit our website if you want to learn more about mental training.